I can't even fucking do my intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Simp Station Internet Football Podcast. It's me, Travioli, 3-1, third place in the league, tied with the bragger herself, Sharksy. And I'm joined, as always, by my constant co-host, Wyatt. Sure, guys. How you doing, Wyatt?
Not as great because I'm 1-3 and 10th place below these guys. So it's not looking too hot right now.
To be, huh?
Doesn't feel great.
Like a little less than average.
You know, you're sounding a little limp right now.
Wyatt's not even average right now. All right, and as you can tell with our two guests, I'll start by introducing the master of chaos himself. The creator of the coffee pasta where it starts off like I fucking love you. Just kidding, I fucking hate you guys. It's Bway Bennett himself. How you doing this evening, Bway?
What up, baby? I am happy to be here. It's been a long time coming. Honestly, I'm baffled about how like professional this is. Just coming into it, and also I feel so loved because I get to have not only my best friend, but honestly my soulmate here with me.
And I guess it would be rude not to introduce your soulmate, the man of many wives. Fresh off a trip to Atlanta, Georgia.
Where he added another to his
repertoire.
Well, glad to be here, boys. Fresh off my trip to Atlanta, and gotta say it feels good to be in the winter side this time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are 2-2 after one of the roughest starts we've ever seen. How does it feel?
Honestly, it feels like the first time I met Bway, to be honest. You know, it's hard to put into words the emotion. It's almost like love, it's joy, it's a lot of emotions coming in at once. It is a little fear. It's the fear of losing that momentum.
Yeah,
I gotta.
On an upswing. We're on an upswing. We can't stop. Wins. This is my dude. I have told Dalton this probably 80,000 times in the past week. I have done nothing but get wins in my life, in fantasy. I just can't beat it. And the thing is, this is what you have to learn. Losses stack up. They just keep going. But wins, they multiply. You win just a little, it goes. We'll never stop. We're going all the way, baby.
So Dalton and Garrett are multiplying. That's what we're
doing. Dalton and Garrett are multiplying. Wyatt's losses are stacking up.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, speaking of last week, you guys toppled arguably the number one team in the league in Steele. He had been on a tear, 2 weeks of over 100 or averaging 160 points over the last 2 weeks.
Monster.
And you guys kind of slaughtered him this week. I mean, how did you guys, not even your players, how did you guys do this? This is you.
I'll be honest, a lot of it came down to communication. There's a lot of hard decisions that came up between, who to start, who to sit. We really had a lot of faith throwing it, in Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of been, I hate to say it, but he's been a wet towel pretty much all season. And the man finally picked it up. I think some of the drugs kicked in, and really that was that was the biggest thing. I think the theme between me and Bway is we do need some extra help sometimes. And part of that is what helped Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
What helped Aaron Rodgers perform as well as he did.
Yeah. Do you mind if I jump on?
Go
ahead.
Okay. Well, the thing about communication is it's a two-way street. Like if I had something that I was worried about, I would tell Dalton, and I would hope that he would do the same. But some people keep secrets.
Okay.
I'm like,
damn.
Okay, you guys are like almost breaching into the topics.
I know, right?
It's going to be
setting it up so perfectly.
Oh, you'll find out. There were some other pretty interesting matchups this week as well. Reeves keeping his undefeated streak.
Boo.
He did get to play Spencer playing Alvin Kamara.
With a fan zero.
But, to be fair, Spencer's best lineup would not have beaten Reeves' score this week. And Reeves made a pretty clutch waiver pickup to get that win. Any other wins you guys were... Any other games you guys thought were really interesting?
I thought... Who was it that played this week? It was Agmills. I think Agmills' game was kind of an interesting one.
Agmills versus Beans.
Yeah. Let me see.
The first time Eckler really popped off for him. And,
yeah, Eckler went crazy.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time the Chargers had a rushing touchdown this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I just don't think his team could put it together. You know, I think that is what it boils down to. Is his team is... It's almost like a curse. The Agmills curse.
Yeah, his QB situation and his tight end situation are very bad. Like he finally had Eckler pop off. He had Debo do well, but other than that, it was pretty yikes.
But like I will say, it seems like this should be. Like, this is a really good week for him. One, Eckler getting a lot of usage is really good, and Debo popping off was really nice. But also, Melvin Gordon's more valuable now with the Javonte Williams injury.
Yep.
And Chris Godwin came back and showed that even on his first week off of injury, he was really involved. 7 catches for like 60 yards. Mm-hmm. So I think this is actually a really big week for Alex, even though he lost. I mean, 108 points is nothing to scoff at. And his team so maybe they can put it together, but yeah, his
got to come back.
Quarterback is just terrible.
Got to come back next week.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Keenan Allen, came back the same way with that injury. I think he'll come back hot. I mean, knowing him as like as a person, I mean, he nothing to scoff at.
You know him personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
You call him Keenan, I just call him Key.
Or, Special K.
What's up, K-Dog? How you
Special
doing?
K.
Special K.
That's another name I like to call him.
And then I guess
Sharks' team.
What's up?
Sharks' team was definitely an interesting,
big flop.
Yeah, what happened there? That was like all that talk, all the trash talk coming from her for the past few weeks, and then just flopped against Banglewood.
I think her and Steele had this issue this week where we've seen them be carried by 2 stacks. Josh Allen and Gabe Davis have been, in 2 of her 3 weeks were really good. Plus, obviously, Steele's with Lamar and Mark Andrews has been awesome. But the issue with stacks is if one has a bad day, sometimes the other has a really bad day too. And Josh Allen did okay, but Gabe Davis was pretty invisible this week. 1 catch.
Josh Allen was saved by his rushing touchdown at the very end of the game. Other than that, he had a very mediocre game.
Yeah, and so I think we're seeing, and she actually lost to a stack. Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown. Banglewood put it away with a touchdown from them. So I think we're seeing the volatility of these stacks really play out. Yeah. And it just really bit Sharksy and Steele in the ass this week.
Although I think an interesting team here too is Banglewood. I have mad respect for that guy. Love him to death. one of the few teams in the league that I'd honestly say I don't mind losing to. Don't mind losing to that guy.
We'll take it.
The Mostert and the freaking Pickens. That trade got a lot of heat. I think it was a fair trade.
I mean, he did have the graciousness to sit Dameon Pierce, scoring 23 points.
He definitely had some mercy on Sharksy this week. Yeah, I just spent probably 14, 15 hours in the car with this guy, so I feel like I'm kind of obligated to be like, yeah, let's go.
I feel like this was one of those weeks that like the bench almost scored as much as the starters.
I mean,
there were a lot of bench pop-offs.
Like there were a lot of points left on the table. And I think people are going to learn like that some of these picks that they may not be huge names, but they're going to draw big points. They do it like week after week, and you're just going to have to suck it up that fucking Christian Kirk is going to score points. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, it sucks, and you get a lot of money, but
listen, you're in a chat with at least 2 Jags fans. I think I don't know what team Dalton is.
I'm a Jags fan at heart. I'm a Jags fan at heart, guys. But that said, I live in Tampa. Got to support the home team.
Listen, when I move, I'm not going to become a fucking commies fan. What the fuck?
Well, if the Jags were to play the Bucks, then obviously I'd go Jags. But since they don't, I'm a Bucks-Jags guy.
That's fair.
Okay, so the Jags are your number 1 and the Bucks are your number 2.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, but to Bway's point, the bench players this week, I mean, we saw J.K. Dobbins, which he was just coming off injury, so we didn't know how well he'd do, but he was he basically he gave the Ravens a running game for the first time in weeks.
Other than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, from the running backs.
Yeah.
Damian Pierce on Bengals roster. Josh Jacobs had his career high in yards and second career high in touches for my bench this week, which was lovely. I had a great time watching Drake London jerk off the whole game while Josh Jacobs was racking points on my bench. It was lit. Yeah, love watching Drake London.
Don't worry, you still beat me by 30 points. So.
Yeah, that wasn't a very... You didn't put up much of a...
No, I didn't. My team was literally Rashad Penny, and that was it.
So here's a bold statement.
Like that team isn't a running team. Like the Seahawks.
A bold statement. Let's hear it, Dalton.
Me and Bway, we got made fun of and bullied. You could arguably bullied. All right, for picking the Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
True.
We got bullied.
It was
that.
big brain.
And I not gonna lie, I fell into peer pressure. I dropped them, picked them up on the waiver, and now they've been outperforming like 90% of defenses. One of the top defenses
They're
in the league.
the third highest scoring defense in fantasy.
Yeah,
turnover machine.
So arguably, I'm going to say one of the biggest, and I think one of the best picks in the draft was the Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
Ooh, that is a big hot take.
That Edwards-Helaire, CEH, I think he was also another steal because he consistently puts up big points every week.
He's just racking up those touchdowns.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, Kansas City was like, "Hey, we're just gonna run a lot.
You lose Tyreek Hill,
no matter who we face. Like
you lose Tyreek Hill, who you gonna throw to? Nobody. You're gonna run with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But they have okay receivers.
You're gonna line
the
backup tight end behind the center while Patrick Mahomes is shotgun to a tight end speed for a touchdown. Like they're just playing games now. Like they make football look fun.
I will say though,
that
bold choice on our lineup this week was Steele. He is always a wild card because he is a big. Minnesota, home state, yes, but not a big fan of their football team. It's not their strong suit. And Thielen is, he's hit or miss, and it's always a little nerve-wracking whenever I start him. I'm always like, is he gonna perform? Is he gonna do well? Is he gonna lose? Or basically, whenever he does well, we win. If he does poorly, we lose. It's all on Thielen. Thielen is that player on our team.
Well, the thing about it is, like last year, I think half of the games he got like 30 yards, but he got like 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's clutch time, he shows up. That's what Thielen does. He's not over here grittying, like doing all that. No, when it's time to freaking go, he freaking goes. That's why we draft him for.
Yeah, his target share has increased every single game too, which is really nice. I mean, hopefully it gives y'all a little more consistency. But I guess we'll see. All right, I guess we'll move on to the awards. We'll start with Dud of the Week. Wyatt, give us some nominations for Stud of the Week.
What are we doing? Dud or Stud?
Dud or Stud?
Did I say Dud first?
Yeah, you said
Stud. Always start with Stud.
Yeah, we're starting with Stud.
My bad.
And
I'm a stud, so I gotta look at
couple names to just throw out there, get the conversation going. Austin Eckler got his 3 touchdowns on the week, making up for all those games where he didn't have a touchdown so far. TJ Hawkinson, much to Reeves' delight, finally participated in the game and basically carried his team to a win. So he's definitely in the discussion. Rashad Penny did really well. Had like 150 and 2 touchdowns. So did Miles Sanders. Had like 160 and 2 touchdowns. So those are my names.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's a few more. I mean, we talked about a couple of the bench players, Damian Pierce, Josh Jacobs, but we don't count players on the bench for this award because they did not do jack shit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is another option for how late he was picked. As we just talked about, he's been really clutch, 20 points. I mean, King Henry's coming back. I even fell into the trap of early season Derrick Henry always does like shit, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's washed. It's done.
I mean, Dalton fell into it too. He was trying to trade him for nobody.
Yeah, that's true.
A whole team trade. The whole team trade would have absolutely been devastating to our team.
It would have ended our season right there.
Yep. Sorry, Becca.
Yeah.
I have a nomination. I think that the UK crossbar. I think the UK crossbar is a stud.
I mean, that was a pretty
Doink,
stud
man.
move.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure. You have to stand there, right, all game, and the ball is going to come at you. You know it is, right? And you don't want it to hit you. The kicker doesn't want it to hit you. And then all the UK people just have their beans on toast, gonna go watch the game with my crooked teeth, and they're gonna show up. And they get to watch some good football, because the crossbar can actually block shit. So, that's my stud of the week's crossbar.
You know, my start of the week?
That's a good
San
take.
Francisco defense. Even though it's on Steele's team.
No!
Even though it's on Steele's team. Like, their defense almost made a comeback. Like, a significant comeback.
Yeah.
Literally almost won him the game.
Yeah.
22
I
points,
saw that.
right?
I was just like, wait a minute, how is Steele close? And
Thought the game was over.
Because, yeah, we had
Yeah.
a very significant lead, and then that was actually... I started getting a little nervous watching that.
Right.
I guess the final stud I would mention is Jamal Williams for Steele as well, coming in as a backup after Swift was injured, and doing pretty well. I mean, who do y'all think is the stud, though? I feel like it's Hawkinson.
That's.
I mean, in the 3 weeks before this, he's had like 18 or 19 total points, and he scored 35.
33.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's Hawkinson.
Or Eckler. I mean, Eckler also was a very big stud.
Yeah, and he also was disappointing in the first 3
Yeah,
weeks.
like
so.
very bad
That's
the
true.
first few
That's
weeks.
true.
And Reeves has already gotten a Stud of the Week award. So
Well,
I think
and-
we
You know what?
got to give Agnos
And
this stuff.
yeah, I'm down to also just say fuck Reeves. That sounds fun.
You know what?
So I'm gonna
I'm not
I'm
a
gonna
fuck Reeves.
be
Wait,
Huh?
What? What do you guys say?
episode 5 stud of the week is
Stud of the
officially
week.
Austin Eckler.
Austin
Congratulations,
Eckler.
Yeah,
Agnos.
let's go.
And now for the one that no one wants, the dud of the week.
Ooh.
Wyatt, start us off.
Stud of the week.
for Dud of the Week, I mean, Jonathan Taylor has been pretty disappointing other than week 1. He had like 2 points this week and then got injured. James Robinson has been doing really, really well for Biz, and then just kind of the Jags just stopped running the ball against the Eagles, even though it was a torrential downpour.
A little wet up there.
I mean, Dalton Schultz scored 0 points. Another tight end was 0. Kyle Pitts still sucks.
That's disappointing. It's just, honestly, on a personal level, the Pitts thing really hurts. He's a UF guy, Raiders, but that guy, not good. Has not been good all year.
Fucking
It's not
Pitts
great.
name, bro. The Pitts name. He's a Pitts
I
name.
feel like Fryermouth would have been better.
Yes.
You got
His
any-
name is
You got any, Travis?
Stepping Dog.
I mean, aside from the ones you mentioned, like Drake in our matchup, Drake London was pretty terrible. He put up a Kyle Pitts stat line of 2 catches for 17 yards.
Yeah.
And then you also had Travis Etienne, 32 rushing yards, no
Well, he's
catches.
just been bad all season.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
yeah.
You know, Amari Cooper,
yeah.
another big letdown. Another big letdown.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what?
And Gabe Davis.
Yeah, Sharks had multiple. Yeah, between
Honestly,
Schultz, Gabe Davis,
Letdown,
Amari
Sharks'
Cooper.
whole entire team. Just the whole team.
Oh, God.
Absolutely,
Honestly, you're not wrong.
absolutely atrocious.
Minus Cooper Cup.
Yeah, the only player that actually did anything.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, she was the lowest scoring team and was behind. I mean, she was close-ish to Wyatt, but 10th place scored over 20 points higher than she did. It was definitely a brutal week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God, I don't even know who to give Doug to. I mean, I guess I'm going to say Dalton Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
Putting up the
0
donut.
points, and he was like the 5th tight end drafted, I think. 5th
Yeah.
or 6th. So 0 points is...
He was
sucks.
coming back off an injury, so that could have been something to do with it, but
You know, you have like J.K. Dobbins, who
Yeah.
hasn't played football in like a year and a half.
and he scored like 20
Just
points.
fucking takes over.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm good with giving it to
Schultz.
Schultz.
I think
That
my
works.
Sorry,
dud of the week-
Sharksy.
I'm not.
My dud of the week is the AstroTurf.
Bro, AstroTurf is just...
It's
terrible.
taken out, I think, 3 players this season already. I think AstroTurf is definitely a big dud. I actually think they should play in concrete. It's a hot take, but people say grass. People say sand. I think sand will just get in your eyes, but
Concrete. Dude, that's why it's
I mean,
called.
we all play on concrete.
That's why it's called concrete
They
evidence.
can do it.
You know, it's called concrete
I mean,
evidence.
exactly. They're.
What does that have to do with anything?
What?
I said it, and he gets it out of the park.
Dude, okay, we need to get a football game that's like the scene from Mustafar in Star Wars 3, with like the fucking lava pouring everywhere, and they're all just on like floating pieces of land, and it's like, well, if you fall in the lava,
Oh well.
but just like,
Well.
yeah, it's like it's just
See you
it's a player.
never.
I mean, they played it in NFL Street, like.
You know what? My dud of the
It's
week.
basically the same thing.
Like, why can't they play in the street now?
My dud of the week is Sharksy's trash talk specifically. Nothing else about
Yeah.
Sharksy, just her trash
That's
talk.
true.
Because that just fell off.
Yeah.
Like it was so hyped. You know, like she was on
It
the
was.
next level. And then just after that game, no
I think
trash
it
talk.
was.
Like she might as well just be done. That season's over. Season's over for Sharksy.
Plus,
Nothing but losses.
not to
from here on
mention,
out.
she added Banglewood during the first game. During the
Yeah,
1
I
o'clock
remember
games,
that.
she
Oh, no.
added Banglewood with no context. Also, maybe a dud of the week, Sharks in general.
Sharks in general, yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
Clearly
they lost
inferior to
the
Dolphins.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
They lose
I
to
mean,
Dolphins.
Sharksy tries to argue that it's not, but like we all know.
Dolphins are significantly better
Yeah,
than
okay,
Sharks.
so-
So nice.
Yeah. So basically, if you just glare at Sharksy's team, there's the duds.
Yikes.
And our manager of the week, I think the front runner is Reeves. Unfortunately,
No way.
For, listen, Reeves scored 115 points with his second best receiver on the bench, or like out with injury,
Out. Yeah.
with a terrible tight end playing who decided to pop off. He is the only person to start a waiver wire pickup this week and win, I think.
But fuck Reeves.
Who did we start this week?
Reeves.
Did we pick anybody up? No.
I don't think y'all started your waiver wire pickup.
Yeah, because we didn't start.
Waiver
Did we
wire
start Noah
pickup
Brown?
of the week is
You
definitely
did, but you
Josh
picked it up
Reynolds.
like 3 weeks ago. Reeves picked
Yeah.
this
Oh,
guy
like
up
this
this week.
This
Oh,
week.
okay,
Like
okay,
on
okay.
Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's Reeves. I think
You
Agreed.
do make a strong argument for Reeves. However, I will never let Reeves be manager of the week.
I refuse.
That is
Yeah,
not going to
that's-
happen this week.
That's almost blasphemy.
Choose someone else.
I'm gonna go us, Bway. Honestly, I think we
Yeah,
deserve
John.
manager of the week because our team.
Yeah, I'm going to do it myself.
Our,
I don't know
what do you mean? There's no argument. Bway, we went from an 0-2 team who was predicted to be honestly the worst team. We were predicted to be worse than Agnos.
They thought we were never going to win.
They thought that we were
That's
going
the
to be
thing.
doing
Also,
the punishment.
Wait. When they said they were never going to win, they also said that Sony Michel was never going to run the ball. For
no. We said he's not good.
Oh.
You have.
you say he's not going to get action for the Chargers. He's not going to play.
He shouldn't get action,
I think he's
which is still
running the ball
true. It's still true.
He's terrible.
He's still terrible.
You know who does get action though? You know who does get action?
Okay, hear me out.
Bway.
If you say yourself, I'm
I
going to
said
kill
Bway.
you.
Bway gets action. Look at that man.
Oh,
He's a
God.
stud.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh my god, my ears.
He is the third best running back on the Chargers, but he is better than all of Sharks' team. He can start on every fucking down.
Oh my god. We need like
I
a noise
apologize,
warning.
We are managers of the week.
Amen.
You know what? I'm down.
This guy.
Let's do
This
it.
guy right here.
Yeah.
Bway and
Reeves,
Dalton.
maybe go
managers of
6
the week.
before he can give a shit.
Sorry.
About Reeves. How about that? Wait.
I love it.
Okay. Now for our topic.
That
Normally we
happened.
like to inform the guests about what the topic is going to be, but this week we're doing something a little.
I would like to disclose.
We've not
This is
been
true. We have
So-
we have no idea.
I have no idea what we're about to talk about.
So listen, there's an engaged couple in this fantasy league.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple that's been dating for over a year in Reeves and Becca. Spencer is getting married in February. And yet, I don't trust any of them to give true relationship advice like a co-managers of a fantasy football team. Because what we're gonna do a little like Oprah Winfrey with who's that little Prince Henry or Harry, whatever his fucking name is, and his wife. Yeah, so Wyatt and I are gonna do our best Oprah cosplay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're gonna ask you guys about some of the trials, tribulations, the highs and lows, and just the overall joy it brings. Sorry, to be fantasy football co-managers, okay?
Of course.
All right. Honestly, I promise you in this interview, I will be nothing but honest.
Same. I promise nothing but honesty.
That's all we can ask.
Even though I've been less than honest the past week, I will be very upfront and honest.
Oh, yeah?
I will be very upfront and honest
for
this interview.
Dalton, maybe you'll learn a little bit about yourself here. That's kind of the, we're all learning.
They say introspection's the best.
I'm a single man. I'm trying to learn here, and maybe you'll discover some real things, like if not 4 wives, not enough. So I guess to start,
Amen.
You guys were kind of thrown in at the end. I mean, how it was a very we just kind of said like we couldn't pick a spot, so we gave it to you both. I mean, how did you handle being thrown together so quickly?
I'll be honest.
Take this one?
I'll take the first part. I'll give it to you after. I'll be honest.
I'm good.
I was very excited for this. Me and Bway have a very close connection. We're already, we have this. It's almost like we could be engaged. We almost have that sort of relationship where we could be married.
Tomorrow.
And I think not that there's a whole lot of romance going on, but I think it is somewhat romantic at times. Where there might be a little sexual attraction, some tension.
Of course, there has
I have to express it. I feel it.
And that tension actually adds to our ability to come together, where we really can overcome, our issues, communicate with each other, and it's been a great experience, to be honest. I'm really proud to have Bway as a co-manager, and I hope to have him as a co-manager again next year, to be honest.
I've never touched our team. I don't think I've made a trade. I don't think I've made any input on our team. I think every input I've made for our team has been ignored. It's been directly ignored.
Wait, you're telling me Dalton turned down your request to draft the Chargers defense in the second round?
Oh, hold on. We're going to get to that. Don't worry.
Every round.
No. But other than that, other than me not having control, I came into this knowing that I had all of my trust in Dalton and love
that
for
Dalton
it.
wears the pants.
And I think I'm going to add to what Dalton said, that like our tension and stuff really pushes us together and brings us together. But I think that we complement each other very well. He's very smart. Like he's book and looking at things, and he can decipher it. Big picture. Don't even worry. But what I'm saying is, like he's great at managing our team, and I'm great at supporting our team. So we have this great we just flip flop, Like sometimes he won't support our team. He'll be like, I don't want to support right now, and then that's when I'll take the lead, And then sometimes I'm like, I don't have access to our team, so I can't make trades. And he's like, I will make trades.
To be fair, I did add Bway. I did give Bway access, and now he does have the ability to co-manage our team. That did take me a while. I'll be honest, that took me a while because I didn't realize you could do that. I was just like, I'll just send him a text message every once in a while.
It's true.
Bway, did it hurt when Dalton completely cut you out of the decision making for the first 2 weeks of the season?
I think I was in the honeymoon phase. I was still new part of the team. I was enjoying it. Honestly, I didn't even know that we were picking players. That we even decided who was gonna play each week. Like, we had a franchise.
I mean,
honestly, we're owners. We're owners of a team. Like, that's so cool. We're freaking owners. We're gonna run this, and we're gonna beat everyone else. And then we lose for 2 weeks, and I'm like, all right, Dalton. Like, come on now. And then he's like,
Yeah.
bro, no. He's like, I'll handle it. Don't you worry. And I'm like, all right, I'll do my job. I'll be quiet. I'll let you hold the lead. And look at what we're
Define gender roles. Very good.
We're on top.
I'll take notes.
We're 2-2.
I'll add on to that. I had a lot of remorse. I did feel bad, about not having Bway really be more involved with the team at the beginning, up front. It was not one of my best moments, and I highly regret my actions at the beginning of the year. However, I will say, now that I have Bway's support, and we really have come together, we've figured out a way to mesh, and that has made us so much stronger. I would like to comment right now that earlier when I joined this chat, Bway was changing, I guess. I don't know what was going on. What was going on there earlier?
Yes.
Earlier, you actually came into a beautiful night.
It was beautiful.
It was quite.
I think
had some tears.
I mean, if we want to revisit it now, we can.
I would like to revisit it.
No, let's not.
Let's not.
There was a time before the podcast that I was just a bit overwhelmed. I got scared a little bit. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to be in front of people, and honestly, I'm going to see Dalton. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready. I'm going to clean myself up. I'm going to wear a nice shirt. And in the midst of me putting on that shirt, we were worried that my camera wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, we got to make sure this is going to happen. So I fixed the camera, make sure it's all good. And as I turn away, Dalton joins, and my ass may have been. But guys, hear me out.
It was out.
It wasn't.
And I really liked it.
It really was a beautiful moment.
I'm trying to.
Oh my god.
I didn't do it.
This is something.
I apologize.
Arguably something that makes us a great managers here is the ability to be vulnerable around each other. We're not afraid to even be in the nude around each other, and that type of vulnerability makes us stronger and able to really manage our team to the best of our ability.
Yeah, and honestly, I encourage you all to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great hearing about some of the ways you've overcome adversity. Mm-hmm. I want to focus on a specific moment that was very hotly covered in the media. Most couples, their troubles aren't brought out to light, but there was a leak the night of the draft of some DMs between you two that Garrett Bennett had asked Dalton to draft the Chargers defense in the second round.
I did.
Now, Dalton did not do that.
No.
Nor did he draft the Chargers defense
at all.
So I want to go one by one. Bway, tell us what you were feeling, and then tell us a little bit about how you were able to overcome being ignored. Can
you start with a recap with Dalton, how he felt? And I'm just going to bring up some chats.
Okay. Yeah. So, Dalton, tell us a little bit about that moment when you straight up ignored your partner. Dude. You straight up ignored your co-manager. You've talked about this healthy relationship, but that doesn't seem healthy to me.
I would like to start off by saying that healthy does not mean that you're going to be making the right decisions all the time. Healthy means that you're able to acknowledge when you're wrong. And I would like to say that to Bway, I have admitted that I was wrong many times. And that's part of growing. Now, to what you were asking, how did I feel, as you would say, ignoring my co-captain here? I actually would say it wasn't so much ignoring as it was really just following my gut. Sometimes you got to go with that instinct that...
Sometimes he just knows better.
Sometimes you just got to go with that feeling that that there's going to be a player that you pick up that's just going to be an absolute star. And that's what I did. I thought I picked up a player.
Was it Reese Hall or Elijah Mitchell? Those are people you're suggesting. Was it the... I'll just go back. So we supported each other up until about 8:07. I don't know when the draft started. I think it started at 8.
The draft started around 7:30, I believe.
7:30?
So this is really
Okay.
not a great start.
So we fell apart about 8:07. Before then, it was a little bit of a, like, who we drafted first? Oh, Derrick Henry. Isn't he 28? And that's how that went. And then it went Josh Jacobs. Yeah, no, not Josh Jacobs. And then it went to up to you, homie. And then it said, I don't care. And then here's when, I'll put some input. Chargers defense. XD. Chargers defense for sure. Dalton's response? Maybe.
Maybe. That's a toxic relationship comment.
Said, yeah. You said Adam. We picked Edwards-Helaire. All right, fine.
Turn out
I really think we should pick the Chargers defense. Dalton's response? Adam Thielen. Literally, that's what he typed, Adam Thielen. Like, that's what, after I said we should he said, and then I said, Chargers D, right after that. He said, maybe, and then this emoji.
He gave him the fucking okay.
And then right after the okay, I said, Chargers D. That is when the Chargers D was drafted. Right then.
Oh.
Not by us.
No.
And I will not say my what I said after that. Okay, I'll say it. You threw. You dirty whore. I'm not having these kids anymore. We're done. I'd rather give Grizzly Bear a time job before you. And I said, Rim.
What is a time job?
It's a friend job.
So, yeah.
Oh, God.
Was a little hostile. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really good for our viewers. We're learning that you guys you're just humans like all of us. You get into arguments.
Absolutely.
You're not perfect, even though these last 2 weeks from you guys have looked perfect. There's
It's not always what it
humanity.
seems.
As I stated earlier, the signs of a healthy relationship are the ability to overcome adversity. We started the season with adversity. Most teams did not. We were, us and Agmills were really the two teams that had the most challenging start to the season. We have been able to overcome it because I have Bway there to help me and support our team, and really pick us up whenever I feel down. Like, I mean, the Derrick Henry trade, week 2. I was so down after week 2 with Derrick Henry. I was willing to just give away the whole entire team to not even a better team, honestly, a worse team at this point. Tacos for Latinos, aka Becca.
Damn.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Bway, stepping in and being like, hey, let's give it some time, settle down, it'll be okay. And really, those
are the words that sounds just like this.
Just pick me up.
Bway's known for his level-headedness.
He picked me up.
I'm always a cool head.
He picked me up, and I'm glad he did because, as you could tell, our team is now 2 wins since these conversations have happened.
Yeah, and think of it, you guys are all right. So I got my team. I draft my players, but like Dalton said, I pick him up sometimes. And when I pick up Dalton, he's way bigger than you guys. We can pick you guys up easily.
It's verifiable.
I wish he would, honestly.
On my
Please.
Against you? Come on. What are we talking about? Catch me outside. How about that?
Man, when unified, really no one... It doesn't seem like anyone actually stands a chance.
No, it's impossible, dude. We're like...
True.
It's definitely hard.
The 3 kids in a trench coat? If me and Bway were in a trench coat, we'd be like God level. All right, we would literally be untouchable.
Yeah. How many kids in a trench coat are you and Bway in a trench coat equivalent to?
About 15. It's exponential.
That's a lot of kids.
Exponential.
That's almost as many kids that Dalton has that he doesn't know about.
Oh my god. Holy shit!
I give you guys a
Bway for himself with that one.
Well, why? It's still going.
You know what? It's okay to have kids that you don't know about. Sometimes that happens. It's just part of life. I mean, sometimes you have kids that you don't want to know about too. That's also part of life. Look at my dad. You know, he was like, "Man, I got a kid. I don't want him."
Bro, don't talk about Dylan like that. What the fuck?
And then you'd always be, the running back for the Raiders and have 8 kids.
There you go.
Now,
so clearly there's a lot of
I do have some exciting news, guys.
Oh, news?
And you guys already know this, but I'm gonna let the viewers at home know that Dalton and I have done a lot together. We've hung out. We've owned a team together. But this Friday night, Dalton and I, we're going to tear up the town together.
That's
tearing up Tampa Bay?
You know what that means.
We're going to be finding some bays in Tampa Bay. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys kind of bled into my next question because I was going to ask how you guys celebrate. Because just like a couple. Sorry, this is not a couple. This is co-managers.
Yeah, we're a couple.
Not
a couple.
A couple.
Not
this is
couple.
not
no,
dating advice.
Not a couple.
It's always important to celebrate the victories and to spend time with your co-manager. I was going to ask how you guys have fun together, whether that's physically, a good old game of wrestling, or if that's your events, or maybe you guys do some mentally stimulating activity. I don't know. Tell me a little about how you guys celebrate your 2-0 week, how you guys have fun together and keep the co-manager partnership spicy.
I'll let Bway answer this. Okay.
Wow. We're so giving. We're such giving people. But look at this. Okay. So hear me out. Now, we've done this distance co-managing for a while. I mean, we're separate places. And sometimes, you enjoy your wins by yourself. But in the back of your mind that the other person is enjoying the win just as much. So when I'm here, watching football with Agnills, enjoying our team winning, just thinking about, what's my co-manager doing over the weekend? I'm sure he's enjoying himself too. I'm sure he's having a good time, But, like I said, this Friday night, we're celebrating together. Come Tampa Bay, we're going to own it.
Can't confirm this Friday night.
Look out.
This Friday night, we are going to be going out.
This Friday night.
First Friday in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited, yeah. It's going to be an absolutely great time.
More the merrier.
Bway, do you get nervous at all when Dalton goes to scout potential co-managers in Atlanta on a spontaneous weekend, or?
Is there a possibility of co-managers?
Oh yeah, I heard managers with 3-4 co-managers. Those are the best built teams.
But society does not recognize those.
So why do you guys insist on only 2 co-managers when clearly having 4, 5, 6 is probably the optimal?
I'll be honest, it's
That's right. And I'm going to think.
Yeah, go ahead, Bway. Go ahead, Bway.
So everyone knows the optimal amount of co-managers, right? Everyone knows that, you're going to get the most work done. You're going to be the most successful. You're going to be probably the greatest when you have about 3 or 4. So I encourage Dalton's actions. I say go find other co-managers. Honestly, I enjoy it. It's like a little game because I know he's always going to come back to me. I always know. I'm the best co-manager.
See, that's exactly that's the best point. Bway, thank you for bringing that up. We do have one primary co-manager. The other co-managers just, they come, they go. Sometimes they stay. longer than...
I'm the main guy.
But exactly, you have that main one who is here for you when the other ones aren't performing to that level. You know, we are a professional organization here, and we expect professional standards. Now, that said...
Right, and I think
it's
helpful because I'm also mentally stimulating for Dalton.
He really does stimulate me.
When other people...
Stimulates me in a lot of ways. He stimulates me in a lot of ways.
I'm very stimulated right now.
And, I'm not even going to finish that point. I like where we're going.
It's okay, I'll finish you, Bway.
I'm like, Wyatt, he's not going to...
I will finish you, Bway.
You're going to finish me? All right. After the pod.
Stay tuned.
All right. So I'm going to give each of you the floor. One piece of co-manager relationship advice for people like maybe someone like me or like Ag Mills or a Bizarwade who don't have co-managers right now. Tell us, each of you give just a 1 point, take 30 seconds, a minute if you need to, and just tell us one thing you would want someone to know that will make having a co-manager work. I'm going to start with Dalton.
Thank you. So the biggest piece of advice is you have to find a co-manager who you have a deep, emotional, spiritual, borderline whole entire life connection with. You can find other co-managers. You can find other co-managers. You can find other people on the side. However, that main co-manager, you want them to be so meaningful to you that if they weren't involved in your team, you would be devastated. That is a piece of your life, your soul, and who you are, and that is what Bway is to me. He is a piece of me. Without him, I'm incomplete. He completes me.
That's beautiful.
That was incredible. Bway, the floor is yours.
Take it away.
Yeah. So I've been with other co-managers before. Before Dalton, and you just know when it's right. And I think, like, people can tell you how chocolate's going to taste before you taste it. But it could taste like shit. You don't know if it's a piece of chocolate or a piece of shit. So, like, try it for yourself.
Take a risk. Take the risk.
If you're going, go for it. Like, dude, like, step out. Go find a co-manager. Right now, you don't have a co-manager with you. Put yourself out there.
Take that risk. I like it.
Just go. Co-manager. Come on. Co-manager.io. Like, go
We're in the .io.
The co-managers are. And then, like Dalton said, like, if you're going to find these connections, and Dalton kind of took it to step 2, which I really loved, Like, it may take a while for you to find that person that you could share everything with. And honestly, when you do share everything with them, they may betray you. They may hide things from you that you didn't know. But the thing is, knowing that that person is so connected to you that, it's unconditional. It's really unconditional co-managing. Like, he doesn't have to co-manage fantasy for me. He can co-manage my finances. He can co-manage my bed.
Play bed.
And I trust him no matter what to do it. And the thing is, I'm cool with him finding other co-managers because I know that, like, we have this, like, we can just talk shit about him, Be like, oh, was that co-manager even good? Did that co-manager support the team the way I support it? No. And we just laugh about it. It's like a Sunday night recap where everybody's just enjoying the time. And then when it comes to Monday morning and we have to put our nose to the grindstone, we know. I just poked myself in the eye.
I was about to say, you just jabbed.
I literally just stabbed myself in the eye with my finger.
That's how passionate you are.
I know. When I think about Dalton, my body just takes over.
God, I love it.
I just think I just know that I have the good. One, I have the good, and two, we are so in sync, not only with the co-managing of our team, but the co-managing of our life, and how, if I were to co-manage his life, the steps that he's taking, I know that he's on the right path, and he's pushing me to be on the right path as well. So, honestly, just put yourself out there, and hopefully you can find something that me and Dalton have, but most likely not.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, that was a beautiful way to end the
great
segment.
Answers.
I learned a lot about co-manager polygamy. I learned a lot about
co-manager
Bway's texting habits when the Chargers defense is not taken. And I learned a lot about myself. I think that's the truth. And
Can we ask a question?
Yeah,
I know you guys are the host.
Of course.
We never get to ask questions.
Okay, so I have a question. Yeah, so my question, first off, I just want to thank you for letting me come on here. It's been a great time. But
we still have a whole other segment. Don't worry.
Oh, solid.
There's more fun to go.
I in the eye, and I just think that the world's ending. My question would be, if you were to change anything about how you've managed your team so far, how would you change it? Like not like bad trades or bad like what would you like fundamentally change, do you think?
After this podcast, man, I need a fucking co-manager. My goodness.
You really do.
I need a fucking co-manager.
You really do. It'll change your life.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I might need to get the Bean team co-managing next season. We might need to find a new manager.
That's
after all that
move. Honestly, it's worth it though. I can't stress this enough how much having a co-manager has changed my life. I used to live on the streets before Bway. I didn't have a job before Bway. I was uneducated, on the wrong path. As Dante said, I had fallen off my path of righteousness and had to find my way back. And I did with Bway.
Isn't this like the first page of Inferno? Are you quoting the first page of Inferno?
Leighton Dalton is back.
We're the Siddhartha Gautama course, dude.
I mean, Steele,
no.
Did you hear the post said that there's no hell?
There is no hell because
he said that the unappreciated forgotten soul they just disappear.
They do.
Okay, we're gonna have to save that for the theology podcast.
Okay,
Can I ask one question? I just want to ask one question.
Yeah, of course.
Because this whole entire podcast has been so full of energy today. I think honestly, this might have been the highest energy podcast that you guys might even have all year.
Oh yeah.
With that said,
agreed.
It could be. Yeah.
With that
for sure.
said, how are you guys doing? We never talk about just how you're doing.
Yeah.
Just checking in. Mental health is important.
Well, existence is torment, and life is pain and suffering. But other than that, I'm great.
Okay.
I'm great.
Yeah.
How you doing, Wyatt?
I could be better. My running back room makes me sad every time I see it.
I think this is something that we need to stress more is the importance of mental health and how sometimes sometimes even men need to talk about their feelings and emotional stability.
Only sometimes.
No,
sometimes men need to shut the fuck up.
Definitely sometimes, and honestly,
true.
I'm gonna piggyback on what you said there. I don't like your two responses, Wyatt and Travis. I think that this moment in time, like in our lives, is the one point where all of us are hitting our stride. Like, I'm about to move to New York.
Probably not going to lose.
Dalton is finally figuring out that the ways of his actions have consequences. And Wyatt is on a big move. Travis is on a big move. I think everyone is really pushing towards, growing. And I'd love to see, revisit where we are now in a year and just say, hey, we did some stuff,
Hopefully if our sponsors come back for season 2, we'll be able to make it. they're not happy with one of our episodes getting demonetized due to vampiric Kyle Trask comments. But, other than that, we are looking good for season 2.
Yeah. I'm very happy with not only like the people on this podcast, but just our friend group and all the people who watch this podcast. I feel like all of us are just on an uphill trend.
Yeah, and I'd like to add on to that I know fantasy football can get toxic where, Sharksy, for instance, will talk absolute mad trash for weeks. And honestly, be a little disrespectful towards Alex Johns, Banglewood, as some might know him. And I would like to bring up the fact that, sometimes it's good that we come together and support each other rather than try to tear each other down. And that is why I believe that me and Bway might possibly be the best co-managers in the world, to be honest.
Yeah. You heard of Adam and Eve. You heard of
we know when we know when to be serious. We know when to take things back and come back to reality. Sometimes your head gets in the cloud, aka Sharksy.
Obama, Biden.
And when your head's around the clouds, your team doesn't do so well, and you come down. You need some support. And Sharksy, I know I've been talking, mad trashing your team today, but I would like to offer my full support and condolences to your team's loss, and just wish you the best going forward.
Speaking of getting back to reality,
it sounds like Sharksy needs a few co-managers. Yeah, before this podcast goes 2 hours long and I get yelled at for whatever, let's go over the Week 5 matchups so we can, we can go in and really be excited for this week. We got some really exciting games coming up. I think Sharksy versus Steele is probably the headliner. The number 2 versus the number 4. Steele did come. Both teams came down this week, but it looks to be a really good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that.
I had to think about that for a second because we have talked so much about Sharksy talking shit and then getting dropped down. I think it's really funny that I just added a white screen to my face. I look disgusting. Okay. No, sorry. I think it's really funny that while we're all hitting the stride, me and Dalton took the honors of knocking Steele down a peg. Sharksy getting knocked down a peg. They're wiping their wounds, and they gotta play each other. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, those negative energy, it's going to be a huge clash between... Well, Steele's a very neutral energy.
Yeah, Steele.
And
Steele says he's firing half his roster, so who knows?
Yeah, that could be some interesting stuff.
There we go, fire sale. Grab what you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the interrelationship matchup between Reeves and Becca. They're not co-managers, and now they have to duel.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Yeah, it's going to be... Becca really needs a win.
I don't think either of them are going to BM each other one bit.
I would be surprised if they did.
Yeah, there would be no negative
really
comments between either of them. That's why we need to feed the fire. I think Becca's team is about 8 times better than Reeves' team. And if she doesn't believe it, she for this week, I think she's delusional. I predict Becca to beat Reeves' team by 17 points this week.
Bold prediction, you heard it here first, folks.
My prediction for that one is going to be similar to Bway's. I think Becca's going to get her second win. I'm so sorry, Becca. Second win this week.
Whoa.
You get your second win this week. It's not going to be by 17. It's going to be by 15.6.
Wow. Yeah. There is some real confidence in Becca's team, even though they've been struggling.
That's because you don't know about the full
Jonathan
team trade.
Taylor might not
you don't
play.
know about the full team trade. We've already done it.
It's in process.
Now, hey, Travis, what you see as shit, I see as chocolate, baby.
And you know what?
Speaking of shit that some people see as chocolate, Agnel's plays you guys this week. Agnel's team is definitely on the shittier side of the shit.
But it's on the up and up. It's on the up and up.
Dichotomy. And y'all are looking like a nice
average,
nice German. Is German chocolate?
We're looking like a nice Hershey's bar. Don't disrespect the average, okay?
Bro. Okay, yeah. Okay, don't disrespect the average. That's fair.
There we go.
The question is, can Agnel's
get his first
break through? Can Agnel's be the German chocolate to your Hershey's? Or do you think he's going to continue to be, as Spencer likes to say, a massive fat shit in the woods by a bear compared to
Bway,
chocolate.
I'll be honest, I have a very strong connection with Agnells as well. I think he's a great guy. A lot of respect for him. I think professionally he's doing super well. On a personal level, he's got his life together. He's really figuring out how to become a mature adult. That said, I think in fantasy we need to do our best to demolish him and make his dreams of ever winning another fantasy championship absolutely just kind of like the existential void. Just there and terrifying because it's not going to ever go away.
I'm here for it.
Well, I mean, I sometimes I don't know like what to do, and honestly, I'm gonna take your lead. Agnell's is shit. Honestly, he has Keenan Allen and freaking
Godwin.
What Chargers play the Browns this week? I think we're gonna get blown out. I'd be fine with it. Honestly, I'm gonna put it here first. I will always be a Chargers fan. I will always be a Chargers fan until Dalton tells me that it's time to support someone else. And Dalton has told me that Eckler and Keenan Allen can't score points. So, let's go Browns? Cleveland?
Listen, I mean, I think you guys are fortunate where even if they do score points, Agnells is quarterback and tight end especially. He is starting Carson Wentz this week against Tennessee, who Tennessee's defense has been pretty bad.
Right.
So maybe that goes well.
Anyway, I hope the Chargers win, but because their defense scores all the touchdowns.
There we go.
Nothing but pick sixes all day, baby.
That would be...
Nothing but pick sixes.
Going to score all the points. Wyatt, you haven't made a prediction.
I play some nice tight ends.
You don't.
Hey, we're not here to make predictions.
We're not a prediction.
Here. We're just here
you don't
to
have
project.
to tell us the score, but do you think Agnells' team has a chance?
It's garbage. No,
it has no
it's
chance.
garbage.
Yeah.
Do you think Becca has a chance of beating Reeves?
I definitely think there is a chance, especially if Amon-Ra St. Brown. 17 points. That sounds like a good number to me.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to predict Becca to win. Jonathan Taylor injured. Her number one overall pick. Doesn't matter. Reeves' team 4-0. Performing pretty well every week. Doesn't matter. I'm going to say, I'm going to give Reeves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. 8.3 point victory.
He's losing by 8.3.
Yeah, there you go.
The funny thing is, Reeves got robbed out of Manager of the Week.
Howard just wrote. It's like, well, at some point these teams, like I noticed this in the weekly write-ups last year, where like the teams at the top, it's like I couldn't really say good things about it. It's just like I had to just because if you don't shit talk them, it's not fun.
Right.
It was like last year. I mean, I know y'all weren't in the league last year, but it was Wyatt and Becca were the top of the table last. Shows how much things change.
Yeah, I can't really see that.
And it was like you had to talk shit. Otherwise, it wasn't fun. So Reeves, you can tell yourself that's what we're doing here, whether it is or not. I don't know.
I think if Reeves actually thinks that he can win, he's also delusional. That's also a take that I'm going to have. I think that if Reeves even supports his own team, he's delusional, and we should treat him that way.
I mean, honestly, he wants his girlfriend to lose this week. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's a major C word
What kind
move.
of boyfriend is Reeves?
That's a major C word move. The first word that I put in Wordle every day.
That is not a major co-manager.
That's not the C word. I can't put co-manager in Wordle. It's the other C word, Travis. The C word that I use is my first Wordle every day.
What is it?
I can't.
It's cunts.
It is.
I know it is.
I say cunts. Yep. That's honestly. It's the perfect Wordle answer. Anyway, that's beside the point. That's what Reeves is being towards his supposed co-manager. We'll see how that's holding true after he gets beat this week.
Yeah, after this week, we'll see.
Now Yahoo thinks that the closest match of the week will actually be Beans versus Spencer. Currently, their odds are 50-50. Beans is projected to win by 0.16 points.
Damn.
This is a battle for the middle of the pack. They're both at 2-2.
I'll be honest.
They're both at 2-2.
I really don't like the fact that you just said they're fighting for the middle of the pack. That's where we should be. After all, we started the season.
We are the middle of the pack.
We started the season as the average D's. I'm severely disappointed that we don't have that title still. We're fighting for it.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about even numbers. We can't actually have one middle of the pack team. We have to have two.
Yep.
And this game has to have a winner and a loser, meaning they will both move further away from the middle. And if you'll win, you're at 9th right now. So if you win, you'll actually move closer to the middle.
To the average.
And to the average.
So they're not really fighting for the average. That means we're fighting for the average against them.
That's true. They're fighting to be better than average.
This is the battle of the average.
Or
because they're 6 and 7.
But then with 10 teams, we're going to co-manage.
We have 12.
There's 12
teams. We're going to co-manage the middle of the pack.
That's all I wanted all season, to be honest. I don't want to win. I just want to be average. Because as we all know, me and Bway have a very strict agreement that average is significantly better than any other thing. If you're not average, you're not winning.
I thought you were going to say, Bway and I, both average cocks.
I mean, I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. You know, you can verify if you want. There's ways to verify.
Okay, we don't need a pre-show. Okay.
I want it.
To wrap this up before we get nudity on screen, there is the Johns Bowl this weekend.
Johns.
Banglewood versus me. Yeah. I think Banglewood beat me both games last year. I think he's going to beat me this year, if we're being honest. My team is not looking that good without Javon Williams.
Just went down.
Yeah. Wyatt plays some nice tight ends who has been really inconsistent.
Yeah, but my team looks like hot ass.
Yeah, Wyatt's team is not looking too great.
Why? Are you looking to make any moves?
I've been attempting throughout the day and have not been able to come to any.
That's weird. You haven't contacted me at all.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, you haven't contacted me.
That's kind of weird.
Over here.
Because I need running backs, and Travis, you just lost a running back.
We have
and
running backs.
I don't want Derrick Henry.
Well, we have Tony Pollard. We have Tony Pollard.
Fuck that. That dude's trash.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Listen. Okay, we'll take these off the air.
Yeah, what you want for
Clyde
Edwards-Helaire?
True. I mean, honestly,
we don't want to.
Well, everything's got to be in secret now. You know.
You know what?
Except when you're co-manager.
I refuse.
When you're co-managers, there should be. No
I refuse to keep secrets. Bway, I will tell you everything you want to know. Not right now, but after the show.
That has always happened. That is always true.
It is true, except for this past
that's...
weekend. I was trying to keep secrets this past weekend.
Damn.
I think we
hit on all of them.
I'm going to ask everyone to pick two of the teams. I know you picked a couple. One, pick Beans versus Spencer, and two, pick Sharksy versus Steele. You don't have to give a point range. You can if you want, but just pick who you think is going to win. These are the two likely to be, like, or at least based on current standings, the two closest matchups in the league.
All right.
Yep.
So Bway, start us off. Who do you think?
I think it's going to be Steele by 40, and then
holy fuck.
And then Spencer by about 0.16.
Wow.
Closest matchup of the year.
Yeah, and then Reeves is losing by 17.
All right,
Dalton.
Pick the two matchups for us.
All right, I'm going to go with Banglewood Travis. Sorry, Travis, I'm going to give this one to Banglewood. He's going to win by a very fair margin of 5.2 points.
Okay.
And second game, I'm going to give to Beans. I think Beans is going to make a comeback win this week. You know, a little morale boost for the team. Maybe even a little morale boost for that manager. And you know, I'm really hoping for the best for Beans on this one. You know, she's been a rough couple weeks. And she needs this win.
How about Steele versus Sharksy to close it out?
All right, Steele versus Sharksy.
40 by 40.
You know, Sharksy, mad respect for you. But I'm gonna give this one to Steele. Steele beat us. Or we beat Steele. Sorry, we beat Steele. He beats you. It's a good look for us. So
good luck.
I'm gonna go Steele by 15.2.
All right.
Wyatt, pick the two matchups of the week.
I'm gonna go against the grain here and pick Sharksy to beat Steele.
Oh,
right.
But it's gonna be a close one, coming down to probably like a 4-point margin, 4.20.
Close.
And then
Very average.
And then the next matchup, I gotta take Beans.
There.
Spencer's running back.
Simp.
Yeah, no bias at all. Spencer's gonna get like 3 points. It's like 140-point victory.
Oh my god! 140.
Everybody on Spencer's team is just gonna die in the airplane on the way to the game. Except for the kicker. The kicker's gonna get one field goal and then just break his leg walking back to the sideline. 3-point game.
Just points off of it.
Jesus.
We've never commented. How is Aaron Rodgers going to do in the UK?
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is going to blaze in the UK. That bro's going to be freaking lit.
Dude, the UK games are so unpredictable. It's like are the Giants even going to show up?
Probably not.
They may be playing fucking Saquon Barkley at quarterback. Who knows? All right, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to pick Sharksy as well.
Boo.
Like Wyatt.
Bias.
I think Lamar is starting to come down now that they have a good running back. I think Steele's stack is really going to suffer. I'm going to pick Sharksy by 8.9. I'm also going to pick Beans, like Wyatt. I think that one...
I also picked Beans, by the way.
I just really like Beans' team. The more I didn't like it going into the season.
Beans first.
The trade that she did with Reeves helped her team a lot.
And I still don't like Russell Wilson, but I pretty much like everything else on the roster.
She also, I do have some inside information that she may be switching quarterbacks to T-Law against Houston.
That
could be good.
That's actually, I like that pick. Yeah, because it's a conference game and T-Law's going to come alive. Unless it rains. Unless it rains, then I would automatically go back.
Yeah, if it rains, then it's chalked.
Plus, Russell Wilson playing... I think he got injured this week.
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder.
And they're playing on Thursday night. That's always really risky.
Yep.
I'm going to pick Beans by 17 points.
One last comment.
I think Beans is going to try to... Yeah, hit us with it.
All right, Biz, love you. You know, your team, it's been average. That said...
Not as average as us.
That said, I think Dak Prescott, when he comes back, is not it. I don't think he's it. I think he's going to lose the starting spot. You know,
it's a Koopy rush.
I think. I'll be honest. I think Jared Goff's going to be a better fantasy quarterback, even if Dak Prescott starts.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you may be onto something there, Dalton.
I have seen a lot of breakdowns of Cooper Rush's calls, his audibles, and people have been praising him for his play.
I mean, he's 4-0 as a starter. I'm just saying.
As a backup QB.
And that is in contrast of DK Metcalf having to leave the field for using the restroom.
I mean, you got to respect that.
On a cart.
Dude, if you got to go, you got to go.
You can't be an NFL player and do that fucking...
It's like going to the bathroom at work.
You can't do that waddle that you have to do when you really have to shit. You come
the
up
poop waddle.
Yeah, the poop waddle. You can't do that on national
TV.
He literally said that in a tweet. He said
I know,
he said he wouldn't have made it.
I respect it.
It's like going to the bathroom at work. You just got to do it because why not? You get paid to go to the bathroom. He's getting paid prime time to go to the bathroom right there. That's an absolute alpha move. And I'm gonna say
genius.
I would smash.
100%.
If DK is watching this, my number is. I'm just kidding. Slide in my DMs though.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I mean, this was an awesome episode of Simp Station Internet Football Podcast. Thank you to our guests.
Thank you, guys.
The best co-managers in the world, arguably, definitely in this fantasy league. Garrett Bway Bennett and the average D Dalton Sweat.
Average.
Thank you as always to my co-manager, or to my co-host Wyatt, not my co-manager, unless you really want to be, hit me up. And, yeah.
Average.
See you guys later.
Bye.
See you guys.